Welcome to this week's Fireside Chat with Jesse. I am joined today by Mike Hammon, President of American Finance. Thanks for joining me, Mike.
Thanks, Jesse.
It's great to have you on the program. As I said before we hit record, you and I have passed each other, seems like in a lot of the golf events,
Oh
but
yeah.
I haven't really had a chance to kind of get to know you, so shame on me for that. So I
No,
apologize for me taking this forum to get to know more about you and
no, it's all
in your
good.
career.
It's all good. I understand you're quite the sandbagger on the golf course, so
handicaps are, there for a reason. And,
and you
I
use it.
don't, I, I don't play as much as I should. But let's face it, you're a great golfer. And if I
Yeah.
golfed as much as I wanted to, the expectations of me to shoot in like the lower 80s would be there. I'd rather golf 10 times a year and then, maybe break, 80,
Yeah. Yeah.
88
Oh,
and
I
then
got you.
still be able to carry an 18 handicap when I'm playing against studs like yourself. So
Uh-huh. I got you.
we go to those holes and I'm like, by the way, I get two strokes. And then
Yeah.
it's like, the drive is 75 yards from the hole.
Yeah. And you straight up eagle the darn thing. So yeah, I got you. I'm
Hey,
mentally flipping you off right now. So
however, I know this is totally off topic, but people will laugh at this. I once sat around in Cabo. I was playing with M Bomb, Terry Jennings, and Jeff Elliott.
yeah.
I had two eagles and three birdies and shot a 94.
The cart girl was busy.
Sand.
No.
I
You couldn't get out of the sand?
couldn't get out of the sand, and I'm
Wow.
going. I go every shot. It's like how far is it? I'm muscling up
You're
and taking my
yeah.
shot. So yeah, put me in the sand, double double whatever the hole, just gone. So
Hey,
yeah,
you hit two eagles, you should be shooting in the 70s.
handicap.
Yeah, gotta work it.
Got to keep my gin down. Got to keep it down. Awesome. Well, Mike, for those individuals who haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, do you mind introducing yourself and career?
Yeah, sure. My name obviously Mike Hammon. Most people in your platform will know me from SCJ. We're a debt buying company. Um, I Scott Ogden is now the president of that company. Him and I started it together, and he took it over. So I just help him out from time to time when he needs it. Great young kid. And I've been with American Finance for this is going on my 20th year now. So we started SCJ while I was still doing the American Finance thing. And, a few years ago when I left SCJ, I was got promoted to the president of American Finance. Before that, I worked for collection agencies and a little unknown fact. A, a friend of a lot of people, Mr. Mike Jones, I worked with him 30 years ago in Philadelphia, and I was his first hire as a salesperson in this whole
Oh,
crazy nonsense. So, and then unfortunately, Mike retires, and we start talking again. But he'll be around. He's not retiring.
I hope not. I hope
No, no, he's too good of a guy, and he knows way too much. So,
don't tell his wife that.
yeah. But yeah, and have been married for 25 years now. I've got
Oh,
three great kids, three grandchildren. Um, we are in the process of buying a farm. My wife is a
oh,
beekeeper,
okay.
and she's retired. Had a great career with the state of Delaware, and had the opportunity to retire early and start a second career. And so, you know,
How does that
you,
make you feel? Does she ever have you go help her?
oh yeah, yeah. I've
You,
had a couple thousand bees swarming all around me. Yeah, first time was a little weird. It's but
are you wearing a suit?
yes, yeah, I'm fully suited up. I'm sure this year you'll see a photo of me on LinkedIn
Okay.
somewhere doing
Okay.
it.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know,
That's cool. Yeah, I can imagine the uneasiness of that the first time. I'm sure after a while you're just like, all right, whatever. You
yeah.
just kind of push it aside and go do
Oh,
your thing.
now it's like whatever. But they still
Oh,
they're little efforts. I can tell you that
okay.
they'll get you. Yeah,
All
they
right.
like
So
to
what else?
sting.
What else is going to be on this farm?
A lot of produce. Yep, a lot of produce, and but honestly, my wife enjoys just being outside. Um, at first she wanted the um, cat or the yeah, cats and dogs. We got dogs, but she wanted maybe some goats or things like that, and then realized that she couldn't travel with me if she had all these animals. So
Mm,
with bees you can travel, with plants you can travel. So um, and then
very
she
good
realized
point.
it was a 7 day a week gig. So if she brings home a darn cow, I'm moving to Arizona with you.
I
You
got a
know,
small farm here. We didn't listen. We didn't heed the advice that I'm now giving you.
oh,
Turkeys, chickens, ducks. It's like a small farm.
all right,
Uh,
I'm not moving with you.
yeah, come on. I don't know if I'm
Yeah,
a prime example of what not to do.
yeah, but yeah, I've so deep down inside, started as a salesperson in my career. Uh, it was pretty successful at it. Came here 20 years ago and started running the collection department and realized all the mistakes I made as a salesperson and not seeing it through, so to speak, seeing the sale through, to get paid. Just thought if it went out the door, I was done.
Those
So
clawbacks when they hit, they're real.
yeah. So going through the subprime um, market like I'm in right now in 08, 09, you learned a lot. I learned an awful lot. Um, and then just this past, a few years ago with COVID and everything, we kind of saw it happen. And especially, I'm still working pretty close in the commercial world. Um, we were ready for it, but it wasn't pretty. I can tell you that, for a lot of people out there, as you know.
Sure. I mean, residuals were way out of whack.
Yeah.
Inventory was tough. I mean,
Yep.
used was almost more than new because new wasn't going to be here for another 9 to 18 months.
You're right. And
Yeah,
then when we came out of it, the used went crashing. And if you were holding it, you were, wow.
it's almost like the mortgage crisis a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Where it's
All
like,
right.
why am I going to spend, you know, 80 grand when it's worth five?
Right. Yeah.
Like, here's the
Yeah.
keys. Have fun.
Yeah. Here. See ya. Yeah. It's insane. But yeah, I've been, somewhat in the collection industry for, over 30 years now, collecting money, selling services one way or another, helping people out, internally with their own process and procedures and, um, understand that just because, you can, you're a good guy, people aren't going to pay you all the time. So you got to get a little tough and, you've got to, that's your money out there. So you got to do what you got to do to get it. Um, so I don't know why I got
And
in this industry, but
well, thank you for that introduction. Do you mind giving a little overview on American finance?
yeah, sure. So we're a subprime auto finance company. I would say 90% of our portfolio is consumer, 10% is in the commercial world. So we've got, we had the opportunity to experience, the COVID years, so to speak, and coming out of it and working with people. When I first started with American Finance, we were subprime, and now we are in deep subprime. Um, the whole industry as a whole for American finance has changed, because a lot of after 08, 09, a lot of the people that were in near prime moved down. Everybody moved down a couple layers to um, kind of get that climb base. There was money there to be had, and those folks would bigger pockets than some of the smaller folks like me, smaller companies like myself are. We had to move down the food chain. Um, but American finance stays true. We're looking, we don't waffle on our originations. We're steadfast on that, and that works for us.
So will help me walk me through these levels if you don't mind, real quick. So you got prime, and then the near
Yep.
prime,
Right.
then
Then a
sub.
subprime. So most of the time, anything under a 600 credit score, you're probably looking at a subprime.
Uh,
Um, we are under 500 credit score. So, there's a lot of good people with their credit was torn
I mean,
apart.
life happens. Life
Yes.
happens.
Yeah. But then, there's a lot of people out there that they want life to happen no matter what. And they take advantage of the situation. So it puts them in our realm. Um, it, it's, it's trying. I can tell you that, it's very trying.
Sure.
When you're looking at a 30% default, then what's going to happen. It's just what 30%, you know.
So one, 3 out of these 10 will default.
Yeah,
Okay.
at some time.
Well, I mean, but if you know the numbers, you got the
Yeah.
system down. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. And
got
we
it.
do,
Got it.
you know.
Perfect. So I guess my next conversation I wanted to have was kind of about you and I met at a equipment leasing event, most likely
Mhm.
an NEFA event.
Yes.
Just kind of wanted to talk about I guess when was your first, because you've been in equipment finance for 30
Hmm.
years, right?
Yeah. Right.
I guess what kind of makes you stick within this industry, Mike? Other than the fact that you got Mike Jones as a mentor, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with Mike, he just when I started, collecting, on paper, taught me a lot. I was a young kid, I was 26 years old. I'm a little bit older than that now, but he laid the foundation to be successful. And there's still a lot of things that I do today that he taught me a long time ago. And I had to tell you, we lost touch for a long, long time, and it was just a fluke thing. He was at a conference. I was at a conference, at an EFA conference, or I'm sorry, at an ELFA conference. And I said, Mike Jones. And you're the same Mike Jones? And he's like, oh, good Lord. So it was in Arizona, as a matter of fact. So we had a, great conversation. But in the equipment world, I personally like it a lot better than the consumer world. You can see the whole economy for the United States just based around the equipment world, in my opinion. If machines are moving, if dirt's moving, if trucks are rolling, the economy's good. If dirt is not moving, people are not paying, buildings are not going up, there's a problem. And you can tell what parts of the country are successful and vibrant just by if you just look in the equipment world. If the equipment leasing world and financing world are strong in a certain area, you can bet that the economy is really really good there.
And then the B2B side, I'm sure you deal with that with more with SCJ, right?
Yes.
But on the consumer side, do you see any correlation in between how
Oh
both are
yeah.
doing? Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, 100%. Because, obviously when people will pay their bills if they're working for the most part, unless life happens. But when things stop moving, people stop paying. Take it for instance, what I'm teaching, the younger crowd now is if you go and take a look at the snow belt states, when you get 4 feet of snow, the world stops. And those people aren't going to pay their bills because now they're digging themselves out. They're trying, okay, how do I get to just the, corner of the road?
Sure.
In Arizona, you don't have to worry about that. In Um,
Texas, yeah, Texas does more.
but yeah, there's a huge correlation, because all of those people that are in the equipment world rely on the people that are at the stores that are doing the mini marts, the Starbucks or Dunkin' or wherever. Those are the people they rely on. It all is intermingled. It's big spaghetti bowl kind of. You know,
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just wonder, like when you see like how businesses are doing and customer sentiment, you just wonder how
yeah,
closely tied they are together.
yeah. Yeah, in my opinion, they're tight. They're very
Got it.
tight.
Got it. And then I guess, the last couple of years, what have we just been kind of going like this, but still kind of static? Like, where are
Mhm.
you kind of seeing things with the portfolio today, going into 2026?
We're pretty darn optimistic. In the subprime world, there's a lot of opportunity. Uh, you know, there's a lot of companies are trying to get out of business right now.
Okay.
Um,
Are you seeing a lot of the consolidation that has
I
kind of been
am.
happening? Okay.
So every day in the B2B as well as the consumer, people are getting, acquired, both sides, in the auto world. There's finance companies that are going out of business because they were chasing sales. They were outrunning debt. So they got burnt. Then there were some people that did the wrong things, uh,
Mm, mm,
and are going to go to jail, from what I read in Texas.
mm.
Um, but it's yeah, it's I think with the governments going back to the state, I think there's opportunity for everybody to grow. However, in the past, state was a little bit more tight than the Fed, when it comes to regulations and, enforcing things and kind of turning a blind eye to some stuff, to some stuff. But I think there's an opportunity for growth, but it's got to be smart growth because there's still people that are bailing themselves out of all the debt that they're in. So
How do we survive? Keep
yeah,
originating, and at some point, it's like just not sustainable for you. Just like, what are you doing?
yeah,
Every now and then we'll come across something like that. You're like, what do you think? I'm like, I'm out.
no, no, run. Like when we first got in this industry with SCJ, in the debt buying industry, we were in the merchant cash advance world. We watched that over and over, and I'm, watching the amount of millions and millions and millions of dollars per month that were being placed with
Mm,
collections and then being sold as bad debt. And you know that's one industry that was their whole business plan, was to outrun debt. And I know I might piss somebody off saying this, but when COVID hit, they stopped, and
mm,
then they didn't know how to collect the debt. There are the accounts that they had, which turned into more debt.
mm,
It was very easy to see, but they were making so much money. It was like, who cares?
mm.
However, everybody cares when things go bad.
Sure, sure. And if you have receivables out there and you don't know how to get them,
Yeah,
like,
that's
good
a
luck.
problem. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's interesting. And then I guess from a like delinquency perspective, um, is it coming down a little bit from years past, or is it still kind of steady based on that prime market that you guys are in?
No, I think it's pretty steady. We
Steady.
went through a hard shot about 6 to 8 months ago. We went through a shot in the auto industry. For whatever reason, the entire industry just, the delinquency spiked by 2 to 4 points, and everybody felt it for some ungodly reason. But everybody had to tighten up and demand more out of their customer to pay. And it's taken a lot of people, including us, a few months to recover from that. But it
Sure.
was a hard hit for a lot of people.
Yeah. And then you start wondering, is this systemic or is this going to keep going for the rest of the year? And it's like, okay, no.
Oh yeah,
Well, hopefully it was a quick correction. And then I guess on
yeah.
the consumer trucking side,
Mhm.
are you guys have a lot of EVs? Are you seeing more of those?
We don't. We kind of stay away from them. I mean, being
I was just
it's
wondering
more
from
of
a
a.
residual perspective. I'm almost halfway through, like I leased a Lucid
Mhm.
May of 24, and I love the thing, but I leased it because I didn't know what the residual was going to be like in
Yeah,
3 years, and I didn't want to be stuck with something
yeah. Just in
that
case.
wasn't. Yeah, yeah. I wasn't sure what you guys are playing around with that or what you're seeing
No,
over there.
we stay away from that. We're just old school. I like diesel. I like gas.
I don't want to plug it in. Leave it
Yeah.
alone.
If I can't
Uh,
drink it,
yeah,
drive with it. Not doing it.
that's fair. Well, thank you for that. So, these trade associations, SCJ is a big supporter of, NIFA. I've,
Mhm.
I've seen it at some ELFA events too.
Yep.
What value do they bring to, not only growing a business, but sustaining your team's credibility in the
Mhm.
industry, Mike?
Yeah. They with NIFA, ELFA, and even we were in ACFB for and we still promote that. Um, it was the education that we got as an organization and as individuals that everybody from SCJ went there. Um, we wouldn't be as successful, and SCJ wouldn't be as successful as we are without those organizations and folks like you. Um, Even though you and I, really didn't talk a lot, I was listening and we all listened. I know, Scott, Kirsten, other folks from our organization, and we are big believers in listening and helping. Um, we're very grateful to be associated with NIFA and other organizations like that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they provide some good platforms for networking,
Oh yeah,
education,
right.
because there's some other organizations that are similar to what you
Mhm.
guys do from
Oh
an
yeah.
SCJ perspective, but you see you guys shaking hands with them. It's not like the
Oh
like
yeah.
the animosity that you have in other trade associations, right?
Yeah, that was kind of a neat part. Our competition, we hey, what are you doing? As a matter of fact, the last in the fall at the ELFA show, we had dinner with our competitors. We're all at the same dinner together, and it's
Who picked up the tab?
they did. Not gonna say who.
It's all fun and games till the check comes out, and it's like,
It was no, it was yeah, it's we're lucky. We're lucky to be in this organization because, there's a lot of people that we can help and there's a lot of people that we help. And, we realize that, but our competitors, they would help us. We would help them. We've had conversations of, hey, what's your sweet spot? What's your honey hole? If we don't want something, we'll call you and you can, um, we're lucky. It's the NIFA and of the world and ELFA. We're they're two really good organizations that bend over backwards and in the people that are in there to work together. We're
no,
just lucky.
perfect. And then the sharing war stories, but yeah, I mean, it's
Oh
being
yeah,
able to pass along something that it's going to a reputable source.
yeah,
Um, this is the last thing you want to do is
yeah,
take something and pass it on to someone and they have a bad experience.
yeah. No, no bad experiences. No, I can go on the golf course and get that. So
Um, Mike, I ask everyone who comes on the program to give me a little fun fact about themselves. So outside of
Ooh.
work, what do you enjoy doing
Oh, well, you're catching me off guard on this one.
besides
I do,
golf?
yeah, I do enjoy golf. I really do. But right now, um, my grandkids, I enjoy seeing them. I enjoy watching them grow up. I think that's just the coolest thing, because I can have fun and then give them back. Um, you know, you know, I think they cost the same, but but I can give them back. Um, I really, honestly, right now, believe it or not, I'm looking forward to expanding and helping my wife expand her honey business. Um, making her making her happy is yeah, it's high on the priority list there. But watching her smile with her successes, it's a big deal to me. I'm a family guy. Um, I'm,
That's awesome.
I think I told you before, I'm actually pretty boring outside of here. I do love bourbon. you know,
Okay, 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 okay.
I do love smoking cigars. I do have Cubans, so I do like a fine cigar. But I'm a family guy that will sit on, you know, around the farm and watch my wife work. It's her farm.
I know what
She's
I'm
not going to
doing the
see
next
that
time
part.
I know what I'm doing the next time I'm in Delaware. I'm gonna sit there and smoke a cigar, drink some
there,
bourbon,
there we go.
watch some
Yeah,
watch some people make honey, maybe throw some water out there. How do we
yeah.
instigate bees? We could figure out
Oh
some
yeah,
things.
yeah. I can teach you how to instigate them. That's the easy part. Yeah, outrunning them is a hard part though.
You know, it's awesome. I guess at the next conference I see you at, maybe there has to be some samples on the table.
I'll bring you some. Sure. Yeah.
Oh, well,
That's every time I go someplace and I talk about this, I've always sent samples back because people they're like they want it, test it out. And I've never had somebody say, "Yeah, it's okay." Everybody loves honey. And she got it tested, and they called it cotton candy honey because it's
oh,
sweet and it's yeah, it's even her darker winter honey. It comes out darker just because it's what it does. She's the professional. I'm not. Um, but the summer honey is it's very good. So I will
okay.
hook you up.
All right, man. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say no. Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. How old are your grandkids?
We're looking at 9, 3, and 4 months.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And the 4 month old is he got his first Philadelphia Eagles tush push onesie. So, he's going to represent. Yeah, go Birds.
Uh, uh, all right. Poor kid. Hey, my team is the worst team in football, so it's okay.
And who'd that be?
The Giants
I
still have
want to
double your
thank
Super
you.
Bowls. Still have double your Super Bowls. So got some
I,
work to do, birds.
I have lots of work to do, yes, but I would like to thank you for not bringing back Mr. Barkley. You know, I mean,
Fine. He's a fantasy flop this year. Very disappointing. It's bad when I have like Cowboys and Eagles on my fantasy team. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why?
yeah,
Like,
no.
what? Like, what? Like, I'm like, oh, well, if at least you could, no. And then they suck. You're just like, great. That's what I
Yeah, no, I hear you. I had a couple of on my team too, and I love them, but
get.
I lost the league, and I never picked Cowboys, so I'm good there.
I don't want to. It just, hmm,
Just
anyhow,
happens.
anyhow. when your team is as bad as ours is, now there is some promise. Maybe we get Harbaugh. I'm sure you
Yeah,
guys don't want that. Um,
no,
anyhow,
no,
anyhow,
yeah.
back to
Back to
back
reality.
back 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 to focus here. So me being the serious person that I am. Um, my last question I have for you, Mike, is why should someone want to do business with Mike Hammon, American Finance?
Well, I'm gonna take that in American Finance and SCJ because Mike Hammond represents both of them. But take those two companies out of it, and the reason you want to do business with Mike Hammond is I want to work with you. Um, I'm a simplistic type of individual, and I don't believe in overcomplicating anything. You want to make money, I want to make money. And if we can figure out together how to make money, let's do it. I'm not the guy that wants to gouge and, screw anybody. I, I've never been that guy. Um, if I can figure out how Jesse and Mike Hammond can make $1 million each, I'm going to do it. I'm not looking to make 1.5 and half. Nobody here in American Finance or SCJ is like that. I didn't have to look far for Scott Ogden. I didn't have to look far for Kirsten Hawkins to have that same mindset. We all want to do it together with everybody we work with. And, it just makes life a lot better. That's why, I think you would want to do business with me.
Perfect. Perfect. I mean, yeah, you've assembled a great team. I've yet to meet anyone from either of your organizations have been like, I mean, so, good
Yeah.
job to you and Scott. I didn't realize you and Scott started it. So see, learned
Yeah.
something,
Well, I'll
learned
tell you what,
something new.
here's another fun fact. I've known Scott since he was 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Okay.
I used to coach him in travel baseball for a number of years. So Scott Ogden he is just a good guy and a better human being. He's smart and he has the same work ethic that I used to have. Now I'm old, I can't keep up. But he's I'm very blessed to have the team around me that I have.
Excellent, Mike. Well, was Scott any good at baseball?
Scott was very good at baseball.
Okay.
Scott was
All right.
very good at baseball.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. He will tell you he wasn't. He's full of,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
fair. It's fair. It's fair.
but no, Scott was very good at baseball.
Excellent. Well, Mike, I really appreciate your time today, sir. It's great getting to know you a little better. Hopefully our paths cross.
Yeah.
I'm guessing probably NIFA, if not sooner.
No, NIFA, that's in California this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. I like the beach.
Yeah, compared to where you're at right now, absolutely.
Yes.
No, I don't blame you. All right, sir. Well, thank you very much for your time, Mike.
Thanks, Jesse.
Congratulations on all your success to date. And just really appreciate you being on the program.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. Take care.
Thank you.